Manchester City are signing two midfielders this week. Arsenal are still chasing Rodrygo, and Manchester United just dropped £50 million for a surprise winger. The transfer window is heating up fast, and I've got the full breakdown for some of the transfer that we've had, done deals, the noise, the new deals. You have to stick around to the end to get all of this. So let's get straight into the video. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done that yet. Let's kick things off with Manchester City's double signing that will be happening this week. The first player on my list is Tijjani Reijnders. Tijjani is a Dutch player. He's 26 years old and he came from AC Milan. Manchester City are the club interested in signing him. He plays as a central midfielder, and in this case, he'll be replacing Guardiola's Gundogan. If peradventure Gundogan leaves and Guardiola needs a replacement for Gundogan, Tijjani is just that guy that will be fitting into Pep Guardiola's system. There's some things he offers: vertical passing, composure. Let's just call him a progressive, modern-day midfield. I mean, Guardiola will be getting someone who just like slot straight into high press and very good positional play. Manchester City are getting him for over 40 million with some add-on. He broke out at AZ and then he was shipped to Milan in mid-2023. Let me give you a fun fact about Tijjani Reijnders that you probably didn't know. Do you know that Tijjani Reijnders has a Dutch DNA? He's the son of the former Netherlands midfielder Tijjani Reijnders. The second player on my list is going to be Rayan Cherki. Rayan Cherki is a 21-year-old France player who currently plays for Lyon, and Manchester City are interested in him. They've already approached Lyon, but on personal terms, Rayan Cherki has agreed with Manchester City and plays as a central attacking midfielder and also a right wing. Let's just call him a number 10. He's also an Nigerian, but he plays for France team. I think he debuted in the Nations Cup that just happened, and he actually scored and gave an assist. Manchester City have reached an agreement with Rayan Cherki on personal terms, and the French player is interested in signing for the club. Manchester City will have to reach an agreement with Lyon to decide how much they want to get Rayan Cherki for. Rumors have it that Manchester City's first bid for Rayan Cherki was turned down. The price of 23 million, it was turned down. We don't know how true that is, but that is one of the things that we've been seeing on the internet. But generally, Cherki's price should be about 35 to 40 million pounds. Probably add-ons will be on it. We do not know. We are not certain. What Rayan Cherki will be offering Pep Guardiola is his flair. He's a technical dribbler. He has flair. He has pace. He's very, very creative. Manchester City are looking at him being De Bruyne's future replacement. But Cherki is a player that can play more than one position, which is the midfield. So if he's not playing in the midfield, he could as well be playing in right wing. So however Pep decides to use Cherki, most people believe that he'll be coming in as De Bruyne's replacement to be the creative mind for Manchester City. Then again, there's some disadvantages that Cherki has, and people have issues with the fact that when he's off the ball, he's lazy. In my last episode about the transfer window, I mentioned that Cherki has issues with tracking back. His defense abilities are very, very low. So that's why most people believe that off the ball, he's lazy, but on the ball, Cherki is technical. Cherki can reach any level with players he already has in Manchester City. There is no level Cherki cannot attain. I feel like that's like one of Manchester City's statement signing this season. Well, here's a fun fact about Rayan Cherki you probably didn't know. Cherki was the first Lyon player to debut at 16 years and 63 days, aside Karim Benzema. If you're still watching, give this video a like and subscribe. And then let's move on to the next player. Next player on my list is Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia, who is a 25-year-old Espanyol goalkeeper. Barca has finally sealed the deal with Joan Garcia. And the way it's looking is going to be like a backup goalkeeper for Ter Stegen. I don't know how this works, and why I'm actually mentioning this is the fact that both Manchester United and Arsenal were interested in signing Joan Garcia. How they failed to reach an agreement or to seal this deal with Joan Garcia is really funny. Well, he's Espanyol's current goalkeeper. He came from Espanyol's academy, and I believe he's probably comfortable with the league he plays, La Liga, and wouldn't want a new challenge or is interested in the Premier League. That is why he comfortably moved from Espanyol to Barca in the same league, knowing fully well that Barca already have like two options as like goalkeepers. So I honestly do not know how that's going to work. Barca fans, on the other hand, I've seen like several times where they celebrated the fact that Ter Stegen was injured. So maybe Joan Garcia will be taking the number one position, like number one goalkeeper position. I do not know, but Both Manchester United and Arsenal missed out on signing Joan Garcia. That is why I am mentioning his name today, because the last time I spoke about him, I stated the fact that Joan Garcia, Arsenal are looking into him, but now now he has already signed with Barcelona, so there is nothing. Joan Garcia is not coming to the Premier League. Moving on to the next player on my list is for Manchester United, Bryan Mbeumo. Manchester United has dropped 50 million for this winger. Mbeumo plays as the second striker and also the winger position. He's a 25-year-old French born. It would be nice to mention the fact that both Arsenal and Newcastle were interested in signing Mbeumo, but Mbeumo was more interested in Manchester United. And these conversations keeps on coming up on the internet. Like football fans always talking about it, how Manchester United finished 15th last season and are still able to pull big names like Mbeumo, Cunha, and most likely Gyokeres. And I think it just boils down to the fact that they are Manchester United. That is why they keep pulling players, despite the fact that they finished 15th on the table. And we're almost signing is going to happen. But I also want to mention that Bruno Fernandes, who most people expected was going to leave Manchester United this transfer window, has decided to stay back at Manchester United and move the club from its current situation to a better situation before leaving. But the only negative thing about Bruno staying is the fact that it might affect their spending and their wages. And if Bruno had gone, there'll be money to bring in more players. But now that Bruno is staying, they're not going to make any money off Bruno's sales to get in new players or to bring in new incomings. I guess they'll find a way around it, according to Amorim. He said he doesn't want Bruno to go. So if Bruno is going to stay at the club will have to look for a way to raise money to bring in new players. I know I'm still on Mbeumo, but allow me digress. If Bruno is staying, I hope Manchester United also have it at the back of their mind that they also need another creative midfielder. I wouldn't expect them to rely heavily on Bruno. Yes, Bruno is back. It's very good to have an experienced player. So when you bring in new incomings, they could learn from his experience before his time is finally up. So they should actually consider getting a box-to-box creative midfielder other than Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo's deal with Manchester United is about £53 million plus over 10 million add-ons for Bryan Mbeumo. Manchester United clearly would sign the player, and we just have to wait to hear that the deal has finally been done. And here are some things that Mbeumo will offer Amorim and the Manchester United squad. He's a very good dribbler, and off the ball, he's very good with transitional play. He's going to help them tactically in the sense that he's a wide forward in high press. His off the ball movement for United's transition is going to be up there. Like we know, he's been with Brentford since 2019, and he has been playing for Cameroon the longest. He's actually one of the top players and very popular players in Cameroon. He's very athletic. He already has a Premier League experience, so he's Premier League ready to just fit directly into the Manchester United system without needing a year or without needing one season or half a season. This one is direct. He already understands Premier League physicality, so he's just going to fit in easily into United's system. So one funny fun fact about Mbeumo has to do with this transfer window, and it's the fact that he almost signed for Arsenal, but Manchester United beat them to it, and he chose United over Arsenal. Now let's move on to the next player on my list, Rodrygo Silva de Goes. Rodrygo plays for Real Madrid. He's a winger, and he could also switch to midfield, but clearly he plays in the flank. He's 24 years old. His contract with Real Madrid runs till 2028, and he's valued at 67 million. The thing is, Arsenal have been saying they're interested in Rodrygo, but I'm going to tell you the truth, Arsenal has not submitted any bid yet for Rodrygo. And it's sad that most of us believe that the Zubimendi deal was already done, only to find out that Arsenal are still on it. So I don't like this. I cannot do transfer this. If you're interested in a player, submit your bid, seal it quickly, because you've been saying you're interested in Zubimendi. What if a club like Chelsea now goes behind your back, collect the deal from you and sign Zubimendi? So if you're interested in a player, submit your bid, reach your agreement quickly. The earlier, the better. So they've been saying they're interested in Rodrygo for the longest time, but they haven't even, Real Madrid has not received any bid yet for Rodrygo. Everybody knows Rodrygo is very, very effective for Real Madrid. He's a very, very good winger. His stats, his goal catalogs are insane. He's not a let's test and see. He's a we've tested, we've seen, we can work with this kind of player. That's how sharp Rodrygo is. So he came from Santos to Madrid, and I think that was for 40 million to 50 million in 2019 to Real Madrid. That's what Madrid paid for Rodrygo from Santos to Madrid. But now in Madrid's squad, he's more like a rotational player. I don't think he starts all the matches, but important games, Rodrygo turns up. We've seen it happen countless times, countless seasons in the Champions League, even in their league. He's a player you can obviously rely on. Why Real Madrid would want to let such a player go boils down to the fact that they already have too many good talents in the squad, and they have a perfect front three. Even if Rodrygo leaves or doesn't start, they still have players that can fill in Rodrygo's position and not even be touched. It's up to Rodrygo to decide if he wants to leave Real Madrid to join Arsenal. But personally, I don't think Rodrygo is a player that sees himself in the Premier League. He's not a Premier League player. I believe Rodrygo would rather sign for a different team in La Liga than choose to come to the Premier League. But that's just my personal opinion. We'll see what happens. Arsenal, submit that bid now. Let's know what's going on. And see this Vimendi deal, this back and forth. Koda is not nice. And since Arsenal is a striker, Rodrygo might not be a striker, but he can be a very good distraction. Take it from me, he can be a very, very good distraction for opposition defenders and will give the striker enough space to do the work. So Rodrygo is going to be a very serious distraction. So moving on to the next player on my list, we're talking about Benjamin Sesko and Viktor Gyokeres. Arsenal finally have decided that they would settle for Benjamin Sesko, and Manchester United have decided that they want Viktor Gyokeres, so there's no confusion anymore. Maybe unless Sesko turns down Arsenal, and Arsenal have to start looking at a different striker. But at this point, they decided that, you know what, we want Benjamin Sesko. And this deal has been going on for a little while. Benjamin Sesko is a Slovenian striker. He's 22 years old. And currently, he plays in RB Leipzig. Last season, he signed a 5-year contract. So right now, if Arsenal wants to sign Benjamin Sesko, they have to pay his release clause. And his fee, if Arsenal are interested in him, they'll have to pay about £70 million or 70 million euros for Benjamin Sesko's move from RB Leipzig to Arsenal. Centre forward will be offering Arsenal high physical press, the type of physical press that Haaland offers Manchester City. That is what Benjamin Sesko will be offering Arsenal. He is a very, very direct, and he has numbers to speak for itself. His stats and his goal catalogue are really good for a striker. That's the height. He's 1.95. That's tell you that in the box, when they get like crosses, headers, just know that Sesko is that guy. I know Arsenal are very good with playing set pieces. Now, Arsenal would not heavily be relying on Gabriel Magalhaes to score their corner kicks. Sesko can as well offer them what Gabriel Magalhaes offers when they play their corner kicks. Benjamin Sesko is a massive addition to Arsenal's team. And clearly, when he joins the team, he's going to be their immediate starter. Because all this while, one thing that's been pulling Arsenal back is the fact that they don't have a striker. If they can get a striker like Sesko or Gyokeres, then Arsenal will be unlocking something that has been pulling them back for a really long time. Imagine Arsenal has finished second on 3 consecutive seasons. Imagine having a striker that he alone can offer you 20 goals in a season. You know what that means? So getting a striker, a perfect striker to fit into their system, Arsenal might as well be unlocking something that they've been struggling with for a very long time. Moving on to the next player on my list, Viktor Gyokeres. Viktor Gyokeres clearly is already interested in signing with Manchester United due to the fact that he already has like a very good relationship with Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim was his coach at Sporting Lisbon before he came to Manchester United last season. When Ten Hag was sacked, he left Sporting Lisbon and joined Manchester United. I spoke about Gyokeres the last time. Gyokeres is good. Gyokeres is physical. Gyokeres is tall. Gyokeres has the numbers. Gyokeres has over 60 goals. That is crazy number. What speaks for you as a striker? It is your numbers, your goals. That is what speaks for you. People keep on saying, oh, he's a tapping merchant. As a striker, you're not scoring goals. What are you doing on the pitch? That's why we see strikers like Darwin Núñez who have so much pace. You can just tell they have potential, but in front of goal, they're not clinical enough, and it keeps affecting them. And now the fans are saying, let him go. You need your numbers as a striker. Your number will always continue to speak for you. So Gyokeres is proven. He has the numbers, he has the skill, he has the technicality. He's a direct striker. Very, very direct striker. So if Manchester United can pull Gyokeres, I believe Gyokeres is going to be their statement signing of the season. If Manchester United signs Gyokeres, that's their statement signing. Not Mbeumo, not Cunha, not whoever is going to be coming. I don't know. Onana is going, so clearly they are going to look into getting a goalkeeper and they've lost out on Joan Garcia. I'm digressing again. They've lost out on Joan Garcia. So maybe they should consider Donnarumma, PSG, if it's up for sale. I believe it's up for sale. Yeah. Donnarumma is up for sale. So Manchester United can look into getting Donnarumma for themselves, if really, because starting next season with Onana, people will certainly laugh. No jokes. He's one of their problems, honestly, and all Manchester United fans will agree with me. Again, like this video if you've gotten to this point, and hit the subscribe button. Let's continue. So Gyokeres to Manchester United, they're already in talking terms. They've reached personal agreements, Gyokeres and the club. So it's left for Manchester United to pay the fee to Sporting Lisbon. Like I said, there's already a verbal agreement, and his price is set for, I think, £60 million. That is what his price is set for, £60 million. The earlier they get to Gyokeres, the better for them. We still have clubs that like to steal players at last minute. Chelsea, we did it with Caicedo. So, but the earlier you sign this player, the better for you and the fans. Peace of mind. Gyokeres is a relentless presser, like I said. He's a relentless presser. He's physical. He has serious goal threats. He's perfect for our Premier League mid-block. You know, most teams like to play mid-block instead of playing low block or come out fully and play attack for attack. They like to play mid-block. Gyokeres is perfect. For that, I'm saying, United gets Gyokeres. They won't be close to relegation next season. Trust me. They will never be close to relegation next season. My take on this is the fact that Gyokeres is Premier League ready. You know, there are some players that will need time. They will need time to fit into the system, to fit into the Premier League. Or the Premier League is, people say the Premier League is physical, which is true. Premier League is a very physical league. They need time to fit into it. But Gyokeres is quick. He gets into it. He's Premier League ready. He's going to unlock it. You'll be shocked as to how fast he fits into the Premier League system. That's the way Haaland got into the Premier League and just unlocked it immediately in his first season. Gyokeres will be pulling that kind of number. Even better than Benjamin Sesko. Facts. Okay, maybe not facts, but my own honest opinion, I feel like he has an edge over Benjamin Sesko. So imagine Arsenal signs Gyokeres over Sesko. Premier League is gone. So Man U, Gyokeres, Arsenal, Sesko. Or Gyokeres is above Sesko for me. I'll place him over Sesko. But they're both young and they're very, very good potential. But the Premier League looks like it's going to be fire next season. If we have Manchester City with Haaland, Arsenal with Sesko, Man U with Gyokeres, Newcastle with Isak. I do not know the striker Liverpool are looking into getting. Maybe Ekitike, I don't know. But, or Julian Alvarez. I don't think Atletico Madrid will give Alvarez to Liverpool. But the Premier League looks like fire already. It hasn't been done, but you can just tell that next season, every team is going to be on fire. It's going to be one of the most competitive seasons we have ever witnessed in the Premier League in a really long time. So let me know which of these strikers you think, or which of these teams you think are fitting in perfectly with the players they are signing in the comment section. Who do you think is really hitting all their transfers news so far, getting the right players for their squad? Let me know in the comment section. And let's round off this video as quickly as possible. The next player on my list is Manchester City's second midfielder, Rayan Aït Nouri. Rayan Aït Nouri plays for Wolves. He's one of Wolves' top players alongside Cunha. And Wolves has let Cunha go. Wolves also sold Rayan Aït Nouri to Manchester City. These are like their two best players, and they've told them to leave. Really? Okay, we'll see how that plays out. Rayan Aït Nouri, he's primarily a left back, but he can also play as a wing back. He is a 24-year-old French born, but he represents Algeria. His deal with Manchester City is already concluded. He has his medicals this weekend. I think Sunday or today, Saturday. His fee was from about 30 to 35 million plus extra add-ons on it. He's quick and is an aggressive left footer. He'll be offering Manchester City his inverted role that Pep loves so much. Manchester City usually would use stones. Pep loves either his centre back or his right backs. He loves when they invert, and that this guy is a very aggressive left footer. He would fit into that role. So imagine Pep Guardiola using him as an inverted fullback. Ooh, they will cook. But Manchester City, for me, so far, aside Liverpool, I say Liverpool, but they've not concluded Florian Wirtz's deal yet. Manchester City so far have been making the right signings. After a horrible season last season, I think it only makes sense why they are making this insane signings this season. And my opinion, he's good for Manchester City squad. He's going to be adding fullback depth in the sense that now they have more fullbacks and they get to rotate players. So this is a very good addition for them. He's going to be a long-term backup for Guardiola. Guardiola last season played too many matches. Did you know, fun fact that you probably didn't know about Rayan Aït Nouri? Rayan Aït Nouri is bilingual. He speaks both French and Algeria, representing and showing us his Algerian roots. That is all I have for you today, my people. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I will see you in my next video. I have a question for you guys. Would Manchester City's midfield finally reset with Tijjani and Cherki? Or will Manchester United be able to pull both Mbeumo and Gyokeres at the same time? Drop your thoughts below and let's have this conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Do have a lovely time. Ta-da!